Today, I would really like to talk about self worth. I have recently put together a self worth workshop because this is, I think we've always known it, but just it's really been brought to my attention how important self worth is. So, when we think about this, self worth literally affects every aspect of our lives, like literally everything. The big thing, so I have my 12-week program that I run, and in there, I do address self worth is one of the modules in there. And it's really come to my attention. I have created an online, go at your own pace kind of an online course for my 12-week program. And truly, we can have all the knowledge in the world, but if we don't think that we are worth implementing this knowledge, getting the results that this knowledge will give us, then we will never actually fully implement this. It's that little self sabotage that comes into play, right? So this is one of those things where, um, again, we can have read 10 different self help books. We can have taken all these courses, all these workshops, all these boot camps, and for some reason, um, we can't seem to get to the goal weight. We can't seem to fully implement. Like I know I should be doing this. Like why am I not doing it? When you feel like huge resistance, I don't know if you guys have ever had this where and not working out. I find working out's not really a good example because we can just blame that on being lazy or something like that. But if you have, let's say, business wise, there's something you know you need to do, something that will either progress you further in the company, create more sales, something that will grow your work or your business, something that will help you. But for some reason, you just every time you go to do it or you think about doing it, you feel this like this resistance, this like I know I should, but I really don't want to. I just like I can't bring myself to do it. That is that's a block. That is something that is literally blocking us from doing it. That's why we can't. And it's funny because we might give it some thought, we might ponder it a little bit, but we never actually think like truly, why can't I do this? Why can't I implement it? Usually because, we actually, it's one of those things where we don't actually want to know the answer because it's that, kind of like taking responsibility for yourself. It is a hard fact and a hard truth. Like, yes, we cannot control what happens in life and the goings on, and we can't control what other people do or say, but we always can control how we react, how we pick ourselves back up, how we carry forward. So the hard fact is our life today is because of our choices. We are responsible. And Tony Robbins, like he is, most of you guys probably know Tony Robbins. I know I was the weirdo who didn't know about him till like December. So if those of you out there who don't know who this guy is, he is one of the top gurus. Like there was a professional UFC guy that hired him as a mindset coach to help him fight better and have a better mindset going into the fight stuff. Like he is the expert of like honestly in just about everything, proper mindset, having a happy life, being prosperous in life, being prosperous in business, like all of the everythings we could hope for. This guy is that guru. So look him up if you don't know who he is. He's pretty huge. But even he says, I've taken a few of his programs now, and every single one of his programs, even he has a free thing coming up on June 13th. And even in the promo video or the entry video for that, he literally says, again, we are responsible for our lives. No one is to blame but us. It is all on us. Now, for a lot of people, that is hard because maybe you don't like where you're at. And this can be a very hard thing to take in, to know. that you are responsible for putting yourself there. But the catch to this is, who cares? Because it doesn't matter. Okay, yes, I'm responsible for putting myself here. Okay, who cares? Because I'm already here. That is just acknowledging a fact. We don't bring this to your attention so you can feel badly about yourself and to crush you or anything like that. That's not the point. Because all of those decisions in the past, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but to some extent it doesn't matter because it's done. It's gone. You can't fix it. You can't there's no mulligans for that. It's over, right? We are where we are today. Now, what are we going to do for today and for tomorrow and moving forward? That's all that matters. So it's this judgment free, label free, just know I am responsible for my life and I choose. Okay, so what am I choosing going forward? That's as simple as that is. Don't make it into anything it isn't. Don't make it this big pity party. Like, no, just acknowledge I can choose. I direct my life, period. I'm here. Where do I want to go? Done. Simple. So, for a lot of people, um, we just don't have enough self worth to want to take us down that path because deep down, even if you don't realize it, deep down, we have that self worth issue. We don't believe we deserve what we're striving for. That's the problem. And whether we recognize that or not, because there's a lot of people that don't realize that they have this self worth issue, right? But that's what holds us back because this is for example, I'm not sure about the men out there, but I know a lot of ladies do this where you're on a diet, you're going to the gym, you're working really hard, you're doing really great, and then for some reason you go out and you eat like 5 donuts or like a half a cake, and you're just like, why did I do that? Like, that was not good. I definitely should not have done that. And then you feel badly, which, by the way, stop feeling badly. It's already done. It's over. Like, you've eaten it. Who cares? Just don't do it again. It's that, where are we today? How are we moving forward? Keep it simple. But that is the little small subconscious. I don't deserve to have that goal weight. I don't deserve to look that good, be that healthy, whatever the goal is, or I'm not worth putting in all this effort, right? And this is a big one for all my business owners out there. I'm sure you know our businesses are a reflection of ourselves. We they're kind of like little babies. We put our hearts and souls into them. Obviously, our ideas, what we think is right. So these are all reflections of who we are, and we put that into our business. So this is where, like I say, part of my when I put content out there and stuff on Facebook and LinkedIn and stuff, it's that a better you is a better business because our business reflects on us, right? And you think about, you go into maybe a drab little shop that's really struggling, and then you see a shopkeeper there, and they're all like, "Oh, yeah, welcome to my store." You don't feel very good about shopping there. You don't really want to linger there. You can tell, and you kind of almost, even if you don't recognize it consciously, you kind of know, like, this shop is not doing good because you got a bit of an attitude thing going on. Like, I don't know what this is. Having said that, I know, like, one of my friends had set up a boutique, and she was so excited, and she has, great self-worth, great confidence, all those things. And you go into her boutique and she is there. She's like, "Hey, how can I help you? This is my stuff. What do you need? What are you looking for today?" Just full of that energy, full of that, like, I deserve to have this store, and you deserve to shop here and purchase my stuff. And even just like me doing that, I'm like, oh, even though, I'm just putting on a little show for, you guys or whatever. Like, I'm like, I want to go shop there. That's a great environment. But our environment is a reflection of our attitudes and us, and we need to have that self-worth, right? So again, this is where we can have all the knowledge, all the everythings, but if we don't think we deserve what's on the other side of that, we just will never implement, or we will subconsciously self-sabotage to make sure we don't get it because we don't deserve it, right? So this is a really big one. And this is, guys, if you have any of these self-worth issues, and I will, before I state those, I will say that it's one of those things where you can have pretty good confidence and pretty good self-worth, but we're like onions. Remember, there's always room to improve and there's always room to grow. So maybe if you're doing really well, you have great self-worth, you have great confidence, maybe this is not a priority for you, but also don't just knock it aside and forget about it. Definitely don't prioritize it because it's not a weakness, it's not something you need to work on, but we are always growing. There's always room for better and more. So just keep that in mind, where don't just be like, oh, I don't need to do that, right? Just never toss aside any part of our growth. Just a side note. So, signs that you could use some work on your self worth is definitely if you're the person negative self talk, you beat yourself down, you berate yourself, like that negative coming at you, that is just not productive. That's not healthy. It's not good. If you're that person, I used to be that person a lot when I was younger. You make those jokes, you're joking, but it's kind of like that drunk humor where there's always a bit of truth in what you're saying. Jokes are kind of like that too. There's always a hair of truth in it. That's why you're saying it. So if you're just joking around and you're like, oh, I'm so stupid, ha, like, no, that is negative. That is negative self-talk. You are talking down to yourself, even if you're joking. Our subconscious, remember, guys, our subconscious does not understand what a joke is. It's a toddler. I always say our subconscious is a little toddler brain. Toddlers don't get jokes. They're sponges and they absorb everything. This is our toddler brain absorbing everything. So what it hears is, I am so stupid. I'm an idiot. And it absorbs that, right? So you need to cut the negative talk. We really take it seriously subconsciously. If you're a person, if you think any other person is better than you, we are all people, we are all equal. Nobody is better than anyone else. There are attributes, like someone might be better at chess than someone else, someone might be a better writer than someone else, of course, but as a human being, nobody is better than anyone else. We all just do things differently, and some people do things better than other people. And we're all just doing the best we can with what we have and know. And because we're all doing our best, nobody's better than anyone else, right? And this is the thing, like people think, oh, well, that big fancy corporate lady with her Gucci and her Louis Vuitton and whatever, and her fancy cars, she's not a better person than you. She's just gotten farther. She's done something differently. She's, whatever it is, maybe she's sacrificed, whatever it is. She's not a better human than you. She's just got different successes than you. And this is where that negative, again, negative self-comparing to other people, that is equivalent to talking down to yourself, berating, why can't I do that? Why haven't I done that? Why didn't I make it? Doesn't matter. We're here today. What are we doing for today and tomorrow? Right? And this is where if you see someone, especially if you know a person who's like that, who's successful, and you do feel that bit of envy, turn that envy and use the comparison as, okay, what choices has she made? What has she done that I can do? Use her as an example. How has she gotten that far? What can I do that she's done? Let that inspire you, because there's nothing special. Again, we're all people. We've just, maybe she read a different book. She took a different course. Okay. Well, what course? What books? How did she get there? Right there. There's always a way. Actually, it's funny because I'm currently following a bit of Bob Proctor too. And in the Think and Grow Rich book, it is every question has an answer. Every problem has a solution. There is a solution for everything, right? So this is that, if you want to get there, if you want to do that, if you want to, be that corporate or business owner or whatever it might be, there is a solution to the question of how do I do that? We just need to be open-minded, we need to be positive, and we need to let the answers come. And we need to be open to hearing them, right? Because a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, I want a Ferrari. Well, then you need a job that pays a lot. Well, I don't want to do that work. They're not open to hearing that you need to have X job or investments or all these ways. They just literally don't want to do anything, get a Ferrari. So they close off their mind and they just wish for this Ferrari forever. No, we have to be open. If you truly want something, how are you going to get it? Be open to what life suggests for you and then follow that path, right? But again, you need to know that you deserve it and you're worth it. This is also a big one. I talk a lot. My video on self-care was quite long because to me, self-care is non-negotiable. Truly, this is like, if you take your vehicle in for an oil change, then you should be doing your self-care, because why does your vehicle get treated better than you do? Right? So that's a big one. So this is all that self-worth. And if you don't do your self-care, if you don't prioritize yourself and your well-being, it's because you don't believe you're worth it. You don't believe you're worth sacrificing the time. You don't believe you deserve it, yada, yada. See where this is all going? So how do we kind of start fixing this? How do we start adjusting? Well, obviously, first and foremost, I will say, hey, I put together a pretty good workshop. Like, you should probably just come work with me because let's get this done. Let's get this done now. But having said that, if you're one of those people and you just want to try doing everything on your own and you're not ready to, be out there, be part of a group, get help, you're just dabbling, that is okay too, because we are all in different places, no judgment. So to do it on your own, number one, stop the negative self-talk. Stop berating yourself. Stop comparing. Anything that makes you feel down, anything that has that negative feeling to it, again, we're comparing to someone, oh, I don't have that. You see, it's negative. No, instead of being like, hey, she got that. If she can get that, that means I can get that. How do I get that? Right? So stop the negative, first and foremost. And again, guys, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it actually on this channel before. I do have a positivity and gratitude worksheet, which obviously, if we're being positive and we're being grateful for things, we are literally not being negative. So that's a good way to reprogram your mind to always think of the positives. I don't know if you guys are on the socials. I guess you could just comment in one of my videos and I could send you the link for this worksheet I whipped up. Super easy peasy. It's all fill-inable, so you can do it on your phone, your tablet, your whatever's. Just a side note, throwing that out there. I always forget people might not follow me on my socials. But stop the negative. Start doing positive affirmations, the gratitudes, all that. Another good one is there's in my video for meditations, there's a meditation for everything. So you can start with self-worth meditations. That's a good place. Another one is, especially if you see yourself as small, to really, I don't know if you guys are journalers. I don't like journaling, but I love pen and paper, pencil, my little nubby of a pencil here. I love writing stuff down. So this is something where we would write the story of how we want to see ourselves, if that makes sense. So if you see yourself as small, insignificant, you're just a little, how ideally would you love to see yourself? What is your goal of, like, this is what I'd like to see myself as standing tall, big in the world, walking with confidence. Write it all down. Write a literal story of a day in your life and how you see yourself. And then what you want to do is you want to reread that over and over to implant that in our mind, to really get it in there. And then slowly you'll kind of start accepting that, and you'll start behaving a little bit differently, and you'll start taking on those characteristics. So make sure that you get really descriptive with these characteristics of how you would love to be, how you would love to actually see yourself and present yourself to the world. Okay, and then reread that every day. But this is a big one. And the biggest one of all, this one's super weird but super effective. You go to a mirror and you actually like look yourself in the eyes, which is really weird. The first time I did it, I was like, well, this is really odd. So yes, if you've never actually looked into your eyes before, just to look into your own eyes, it's very odd, but it's okay. And this is a really good gauge also of where your self-worth is, because you're going to say to yourself, you're going to look yourself like literally in the eyes, in the mirror, and you're going to say your name. So I'm Sonia. I love you and I accept you as you are. And you deserve everything. Right? And you mean it. And this is a big one. Some people literally can't look at themselves, can't hold that eye contact. That's you, then you need to start by just practicing holding that eye contact until it gets more comfortable, and then you can add the words to it. And if it's really, one lady, she burst out crying trying to say this because her self-worth was so low. Again, this is a no judgment. Do not judge yourself. There's no pity parties. This is a just fact. All right, this is where I'm starting. I got some work to do. And you just do this every day until it becomes comfortable. And like for myself now, I can look in the mirror and be like, Sonia, I love you and I accept you for who you are. And we do deserve everything. Right? Like it's very comfortable for me now. It's just because I do think I deserve nice things. I have that self-worth built up. So you want to do this every single day until you get to the point where you're like, yes, I am pretty fantastic as a person and I do deserve nice things. And you don't feel weird about it. And it's not a joke. You actually do think you deserve things. So this is a good way. These are a couple good examples. I do have some more tools, guys. But first of all, I can't spill all my beans. Part of me, I got to save some good stuff for my clients. And honestly, if I gave you all the tools right now, it's too much. And there are some people out there, you would try and implement all of them and it would overwhelm you. Then you would do none of them and then we'd be nowhere. So do the looking at yourself in the eyes, talking to yourself. That I think is the number one best. If you literally can't look at yourself in the mirror, start by working on looking at yourself and then start timing yourself how long you can actually gaze into your own eyes. And if it starts off with that half a second, that's fine. And work up to like a full minute and then you can add the words. And then, so if you're that person also on the side, you want to write the story of how you would love to be. Get detailed, really put your heart into it. And then you're going to read that story every single day to yourself. Okay. And again, words matter. I've talked about this before. Stop the negativity. And if that means doing the positivity and gratitude exercises, great. Or if you can just start building that awareness of catching yourself and reframe. So if you did this, it's because I'm so stupid. And then you caught yourself, that's great. But then add, just kidding, I am very smart. I'm a very smart person and I have great ideas. Let that little brain absorb that, right? You have to reframe that right away because it's absorbing everything. So it's okay. Obviously, it's a bad habit to break. We're forming new habits. This takes time. You have to catch it. You have to repeat, rinse, all the things. So just reframe it when you catch yourself. And I'm sure I've said it before, is have that, celebration. There is no win too small to celebrate. So if you caught yourself and you reframed, you need to take that minute and acknowledge yeah, I caught it. I actually caught it and I reframed it. Oh, doing good. Because again, our little toddler brain, it'll want more of that. So the more we celebrate, the more it wants, the more we will actually subconsciously be trying to get those positive affirmations, the faster the habit will form. Right? So I think just to put that side note in there, guys, as one of my favorite news reporters says, shameless plug here. I think I'm going to make this self-worth workshop regular thing, because I think it's very important. Even though I do offer it in my courses, I think it's quite the big nut to crack. So I think I'm going to keep this workshop going. So if this is something you truly need extra help with, you truly want extra help, I'm going to put the link in the comments or in the bio, that you can join that if you do want the extra help. Because yeah, it's like you said, every aspect, our work is affected, our lives are affected, our relationships. If you don't think you deserve love, then your marriage is not going to be, or your cohabitation or whatever you have, is not going to be as good as it could, because you don't allow that other person to love you like they should, and you self-sabotage it. You pick fights out of nowhere because you don't think you deserve all that love, right? Then it affects with the kids, the friends, the home life, like literally everything. So this to me is such a big subject. It's a little bit of my mountain right now, even though I will always be the stress and anxiety management. I've been, part of my massage career for, a decade and a half. I will always do that forever. But right now, I'm really climbing that self-worth mountain, trying to really get that out there for people, because everything else you try and implement, every aspect of your life, every other anything you try and do is going to work and happen, and you're going to achieve it so much better. I know I'm a lot of hand talking today. When you know that you actually deserve it, when you know that you're worth the work, when you know you deserve that outcome, right? So you see how it's like it really is important. So yeah, I'll put the link in the bio, guys. I'm super excited about this one. This is like I said, my hot topic right now. So I'm really glad to be talking about it. And I am on Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. If anyone wants to look me up, I guess I should put those links out there somewhere if someone wants to look me up. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one, because I think this is going to be a huge game changer for a lot of people, and I'm excited to have that happen. So, all right, guys, as usual, have a wonderful weekend. Keep that positivity up. Remember, we make the choices. How are you going to choose to spend your weekend? I'm going to choose to have a wonderful weekend, and I'm going to prioritize myself with my self-care, because I know I'm worth it. And yeah, I refuse to treat my truck better than I treat myself, because I'm a living, breathing creature, and I deserve better. So I hope you guys do the same. Get that self care in there, and yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.